Hello, Ed. I'm recording my final video because I am done. I'm good. I'm done. Just a heads up, though, however, there will be two final videos. There's this one, which is a screen recording, as you can see, and the other one will be a video on my phone showing the two separate screens. You wanted the 10 to 15 minute code talk, and I figured screen chat is better for that. Um, First, let's just run through my game real quick. So you can see socket bound, that was the client socket that was bound, and now that it didn't find anything, the other socket, the server socket, has been bound, and the old client socket was destroyed. Firing it up on the other machine now. Alright, there we go. There you can see, connected. Okay, so that's my lobby. As you can see, this is my start screen. It's just the regular start screen. If I press space, that'll send a command to both of them to start the game, which you will see in a later video, in the next video. These are collisions. Collisions are handled by the server side, this side that we are seeing right here. Player movement is also determined strictly by the whichever, if you're server or client. For instance, if you're client, you would be controlling the blue from doing WASD. So there's the collisions. I can bump into the other player as well. If I can aim right. There we go. I can fire. The bullets will collide with the wall. They will also collide with the player. I can drop a mine. I can control the other player using the other thing. Let's see. Data packages that are being sent right now. So all of the physics is being handled as the collisions would apply. All the physics is being handled strictly by the server side. As you can see there, I just killed him and re-entered the scene. So it deleted everything and started over again. I'm using the IDs that are hard set for all of the regular stuff, so all the static stuff. Bullets get unique IDs, and mines get unique IDs. Everything else has the same old ID. Networking. So the difference between a network and a client are... What's the word for it? It's a... game... No. An interface. It's an interface. I'm using an interface to separate the two, which I'll be showing off after I am done playing through this game. Let's see, what else can I talk about while I'm here, though? Movement is a command that is sent over. If it is sent from the server, it just gets put into the server's queue. And if it's sent from into the input queue of the server, if it's sent from the client, it only goes into the server's input queue. An input will never go into the client's input queue because it doesn't need it. Creation, however, is sent to both, as is the update position, which is a universal thing sent every single frame for every object, except for obviously ones that aren't, done, ones that aren't networked, like the posts. The posts don't need to be updated like that. Physics is obviously only run on the thing, so the update position is sent from the server to everyone. So the server sends it to itself and to the client. Let's see. Yeah, aside from creation and input, which creation is creation and input are the only two packages that are sent that are shared between these things. Just to prove you again, look at this. He's moving. He's firing. He's dropping the mines. Just wanted to demo that. I can't have him killing himself. That'd be embarrassing. There we go. Player 1 wins again. Okay. That was 2 playthroughs of the game real quick. So now I'm just going to check the time. 5 minutes. I got time. I'll show some stuff off to you now. So let's just start at the beginning, the game. Blah, 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 blah. So here we have the 2 clients. Every game starts up with one of these. This is the interface I was talking about. And these are the client and server ports that they will go to. Actually, let's check out the client-server stuff right now. These are the shared things, obviously. Client, blah, blah, blah. Start up, set itself up, and then it will actually, if we check the game, ping 3 times, and then turn itself off if it doesn't find anything. If it finds something, it starts up. Back over to you. Well, receive message. Basically the same for both of them. There are a few minor details that are different, and that is just in how they send this stuff and how they receive the stuff. Because they both can receive different types of information. Mainly in the discovery response. Establish connection. This is a blast over the LAN, so it just says, hey, anyone open right now? And if so, connects to it. I'll be showing that off with the server. Send message, it sends a different type of message, so obviously that's different. Do physics is empty because it doesn't do anything. Shut down. And create message, read message. Yeah, it's just reading from the right queue. And those are, yeah. Server, pretty similar. The startup for this is just setting itself up to receive messages instead of sending them out. Again, this stuff is all pretty similar with a few differences mainly in how the messages are sent. This one actually runs the physics simulation. Shut down, all that junk. Now onto the queues, I believe I will show off next. So the queues accept headers. The headers have a pointer to an object. Those objects are collision data, which just has the IDs of the 2 things that collided. Game manager data, which is just the game state that it should be updating to. Missile data, which contains ID of the object. Action type, which is invariably move. And then X position, Y position, and the angle. Mine data, ID, action type, move, and X val, Y val, and angle. Player data, ID, player type, so this is player 1 or player 2. Action type, which can be fire, die, fire, die, update position, move, rotate, drop a mine, any of those things. I can actually just show it up. The different inputs, which are integers and not floats, and then its positions for updating its position. So these are all the moves. Collide is actually technically defunct because it's replaced by the collision data thing. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Let's go to the input queue itself. Let's see what this thing actually does. So the input queue. It's not where we should start. We should start with the output queue. So the output queue, you can call these things from anywhere. So an example would be in ship. The ship is saying, you know, hey, I want, this is, it happens in the game manager mostly. So, here it is. So, we're playing the game. We are the server. We're player 1. So we're checking a thing. We're saying, hey, I want to update the player's position. So what do? You do every object that sends its data across has a copy of its own data object. So it just says, hey, data, and it reuses it, so it'll endlessly reuse it. So it says, I'm player 1, I am moving, these are my coordinates, go. And then it shoots it to the output queue. Output queue goes, okay, what is this? This is a player. The data is this. This is the output sequence number. The input ID isn't known yet. Then it enqueues it. Then when it's done enqueuing, it'll go to here when the queue is called. Queue is called second to last thing. Push to network is the call to the queue, to the output queue. Receive message is where the interface actually gets the messages. And up here is input processing. FRID removal and all the other stuff is relatively the same, except the do physics is based off of the interface now. So anyways, back to this. So it'll hit this, and then it'll run through everything in its queue. And it'll say, hey, like, write this and ship it off to where it needs to go in the case that it needs to go somewhere. For instance, this will only send the missile data if it is the server. Or it'll only add it to itself if it's the server. If it's the game state, a little something happens in the input queue, and I'll talk about that right now because everything else is basically the same. It'll add it, and then it'll ship it off using the buffer write. How much time do I got? Cutting it close. Right. Input queue. So this will read it, and then it'll actually perform the thing that it wants to do. So it'll read it, and then it'll add it to the queue. And when it does that, it'll just do its equivalent of get work. So it'll give the data, and then over here in the game manager, we have the works. So it'll say, okay, I'm a mine. What am I doing? Am I updating my position? Yes, I am. Set the sprite to that position. What am I? Am I the game state? Okay, here I am. Load level or update the player score and change everything. Now the interesting thing that I want to talk about is game state. When the game state hits, it immediately wipes the queue and says, okay, well, it doesn't matter, all that stuff's dead anyways. So it gets rid of the queue and immediately backs out of the function. That was my solution for that. Next up, let's take a look at collision, because collision has changed a little bit. It's just this. Collision data. So the contact manager has its own collision data, and it says, something hit something? Give me your IDs, ship it off. That's all. The update positions in the game object. So you got the set sprite, update, push physics, and is it here? It's, yeah, here. So the push physics gets overridden in all of these things where where it's networked. So for the ship, the missile, and the mine, they get overridden and they network their positions. So that's how I did that. Yeah. So right now I'm just kind of trying to think of anything else I might have neglected to talk about. So we had the lobby, we had the we had the lobby, we had the player movements. That's this is the player movements. and I showed you off the cues. I think that's about it for this video. So check out the second video that I will be linking for the actual showing of the two things at the same time.